Author's personal note. This is from Larken himself about what happened to him. Larken says here, note, I've lost count of how many people have expressed sympathy for me and my wife because we were imprisoned for not bowing to the IRS, but it never seems to occur to our non-anarchist acquaintances that we were caged by the very people they voted for disobeying commands which they advocated. As far as I know, not one statist we know has even noticed the schizophrenia and hypocrisy of actively supporting mass extortion, taxation, and then giving heartfelt condolences to the victims of that same extortion. Right. So back to the book, what that was after his quote. He goes on in the chapter now. He says, one can see the supernatural essence of authority in the fact that among the people who will eagerly vote for their neighbors to be legally extorted and robbed, few would ask or pay mere mortals to do the same thing. Few people would feel justified in hiring a street gang to rob his neighbors in order to pay for his own child's schooling. But many millions advocate the same thing when they condone property taxes to fund public schools. Why do the two feel so morally different to them? Because those who believe in government believe it consists of something more than the people in it. It is imagined to have rights that no mere mortal has. From the perspective of the statist, asking government to do something has far more in common with praying for the gods to do something than it does with asking people to do something. A statist who demands certain legislation would be horrified and offended if some group of average people offered to provide similar services. Imagine if a street gang made the following offer to a local resident, quote, we'll do a shakedown of your neighbors and use what we get to pay for things that you want. Your kid going to school, fixing the roads, stuff like that. We have to keep a cut for ourselves, of course. And tell us how you wish your neighbors would behave, and we'll make sure they behave that way. If they don't do what we say, we take their stuff, or we'll stick them in a cage. Right, exactly. If average people made such an offer, they would be condemned for their attempted thuggery. Or you know what else? Like, this the same tactics that the mafia use, that you see in The Godfather and all the old mafia movies. Your government, our government, is the mafia, except legitimized. And I saw this even when I was a kid, because from watching all the mafia movies and then seeing what the government does, I was asking myself, what's the difference here? So to go on. But when the same things are proposed in a campaign speech by someone running for a position in government, and when such things are done in the name of vague political abstractions, such as the common good or the will of the people, they are seen not only as allowable, but also noble and virtuous. When the politician says, we need to provide adequate funding for our children's education, and we need to invest in our infrastructure, he is literally talking about forcibly taking money away from the people via taxes and spending it the way he thinks it should be spent.